Hey, folks, how are you? Welcome in. The live stream of the Eric Zane Show podcast is brought to you by some key folks. Go to our friends at A&E Heating and Cooling, 616-516-8579 for everything heating and cooling, utilizing the Comfort Maker air conditioners and furnaces. Comfort with confidence. So, it's hot as hell already, and if that thing goes on the fritz, you don't want to be in the blast zone of when the wife goes crazy, for God's sake. Say, it's all right, just hold still, go sit in the car with the air conditioning blowing on you, and Joe Martinez will be over here in a minute to take care of business. Thank you to them. 616-516-8579 for A&E Heating and Cooling. I've got an RV dealer in town. That is Terrytown RV. If you're in the West Michigan area, they're on division between 68th and 76th Street. Thank you to them. Pick one out online at terrytownrv.com and then, meet them there. Put on your mask. Say, all right, I don't want this to be like the Miami Marlins here. Let's just go check it out, and you stay over there. All right, looks good. We'll buy it. Anything at all, man. It could be your first time doing this, getting something small. A lot of the times people, when they start to get into RVs or campers or whatever, they start with the little one, and then after about a year and a half of that, they're like, boy, we got to upgrade. And then you kind of work your way up. So that is where I want you to go. Terrytown RV. They have the unbelievable selection I should say, that you have just got to check out. Online at terrytownrv.com. And then finally, Great Legs Winery, Brewery, Distillery there in Holland, Michigan. Drop by and pick up a case of grappa, for God's sake. That's going to put some hair on your wiener. There's no doubt about it. They are on East Lakewood Boulevard in Holland, Michigan, just west of US 31, okay, on the south side of the street. Can't miss. It's like a strip mall. Really nice place. Great atmosphere. And or just stop by after work for a drink. Their hours are online. You can get to their website, their Facebook page. When you go to mine at ericzaneshow.com and click on the Great Legs Winery, Brewery, and Distillery logo. All right, here we go. This is the 29th of July, 2020. We are in the Metalworks Body Shop. Fear Bunker Studio. On your mark, get set, go!
And now, here's a guy who has to have a pork chop tied around his neck to get the dogs to play with him.
Dude, keep your mouth shut if you knew it was good for you, buddy.
It's the Eric Zane Show podcast with your host, Eric Zane.
Thank you very much, Johnny. How are you, buddy? Where you been? Welcome in. It is the Eric Zane Show podcast. Coming to you live each and every day. Unless, of course, you're listening to the pre-recorded audio podcast. But we do this live each and every day. Facebook, brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid. Twitter, find me on Twitter at Eric Zane Show. The Blue Cross IT Twitter handle. Twitter, I do a Periscope video for you. And also, you can get me on YouTube. Sponsored to be named soon. As soon as we get the okay. Instagram brought to you by the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. Okay, that's where you can find me in some spots. I'm scattered throughout the internet, various places. We doing the show this time around, the very first time utilizing the Restream online platform, and what that allows me to do is just a little bit more versatility, flexibility. Kind of just click one button and it gets spilled out to all of those platforms all at once. And I'm looking at all of your comments right now, and they're all captured. So if you make a comment on YouTube, it gives me the little YouTube icon next to your name. Then I know, like I see Patriot Nick, he's watching from YouTube, and he even says, hey, I'm watching on YouTube for the numbers, baby. And, and that's an interesting thing, because people are like, hey, what do I watch on? They all help. It's all good, but in their own special way. They're all unique in their own special way. Facebook, when I see the numbers of the minutes viewed, I actually present that to potential sponsors and say, hey, here's how many people that are watching. There's value on it, and I price it. YouTube, on the other hand, is sweet because they make you watch some stupid commercial when you start the thing, which is a drag. I get it, but it helps out the most when you watch the whole thing. And then, lo and behold, they help keep the lights on because I've partnered with them to get the message out and do that type of marketing for whoever. I don't even know the hell the clients are on that. It just shows up. It has nothing to do with me. So you know what is the best thing is if you're on a desktop, laptop, mobile device, whatever, especially if you're on a computer, is to watch them both and just turn the sound down on one of them. And that really helps. So however way we can get those numbers up. On YouTube, though, I want you to search me out, Eric Zane Show on YouTube, and subscribe to it. Subscribe and then hit the notifications bell and then the thumbs up button. You got to do all those things. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. So welcome. And, of course, people who get it on demand on all of the podcasting platforms, I thank you as well. Holy crap, we've got a lot of things to talk about on the show today. We are always just chock full, and I'm expecting a visit, an actual in-person visit from the Queen of the Forest. Like, she's going to walk in here. She is needed in here, and I wonder if there is evidence of why she's coming in here on the video screen. I'm looking right now. You might be like, what are those blue things laying on the ground, Eric Zane? It's, well, I don't want to give it away just yet, but there is a reason why you're seeing that on the video. Melissa already, by the way, Melissa is stealing the title of biggest complainer. She says, commercial, it's like a 15-minute infomercial. Always something. Can never keep everybody happy. There's always somebody who is the current trophy winner of Complainer Listener of the Day. Melissa, congratulations. I love you. My God. The toe got it right. Well done. She has said what she thinks is on the floor there, and she is 100% right. I'll just say it. Those are pee pads. Zane, why would you have pee pads on the floor? She's like, you got another dog? Stand by. That story coming up. I will explain. Dear Meathead, brought to you by JM Synthetics, will be happening at about 9 a.m. JMSynthetics.com. I need questions for Dear Meathead. I have some from last week. Remember, we were supposed to do it at his place, and then he got all herp derp on us, so he decided he didn't want to do it. But we will. You see, he's a creature of habit. You know, he likes to actually be seated in one room with him in one chair and Joanne in another, and that's like the only way that he'll do Dear Meathead. Anything different from that, it really messes with him, and that's age and dementia. That's what that is, manifesting. So we'll get him. Again, I like to say this from time to time. Dear Meathead is not going to happen forever. We are getting into that realm where we're probably not going to be doing that bit. I don't know how. I can't predict. It all depends on my instinct of how much longer I should let this go. The last thing I want is my dad to embarrass himself in any way, shape, or form, and that would just make everybody feel bad. So part of life. We just deal with it. But for now, we'll enjoy him and love him up as much as we can. So again, I need your questions. Eric at ericzaneshow.com for Dear Meathead. Okay. The Miami Marlins fiasco is getting worse. And for some reason, nobody wants to blame the stupid Marlins for causing it all in the first place. And I'll explain what I mean by this. I talked about it a little bit yesterday, but it is, wow. This is ridiculous, and it's all their fault. It's the players' fault. The players actually did this, and no one is talking about this. The blame goes completely on them. I can't, and well, hell, whoever knew of this. This is absolutely remarkable. D. Adonis makes a return to the show. You might remember D. D was the guy who. He was walking down the street in one of the Grand Rapids neighborhoods, and he narrated a Facebook Live video where he started it out by saying, all I wanted to do was eat my Popeye's chicken sandwich. And then this happened. Some lady on a second-story window threw open the window and stepped out onto a ledge of the building, completely nude. And he narrated that video. And then I went the extra mile, tried to get him on. And then first he called me a racist for some reason because he's that's D, I guess. But we worked it out, and we had a great conversation as the Queen of the Forest makes her way in here. And you were like, what is going on? What is she doing? How are you, honey? You know what? Let me put your microphone near you. We'll just get into this now because no one's going to pay attention to what I say because you're in here doing something. Now, they'll be able to hear you. You don't have to speak into the mic. They'll be able to hear you. I think. How are you, honey?
I'm doing well. How are you?
All right, very well. So, Diana is doing physical therapy for Daisy. Daisy's operation was yesterday, the knee repair job, an extensive surgery, a couple hours under the knife. And I can't, some people are like, show us the dog right now. She can't be moved. She's not one for moving right now. And so you want me to help you roll her over because that leg needs to be
in the air.
facing the air. So let's do that. Stand by. I've got a dog that's convalescing.
I got it.
Oh, she peed a little there too, see?
Oh, it's a good thing it was on the pee pad.
Yeah. I'll take care of that. So, yeah, roll her completely over. You know what I mean?
Like on this side?
Here, let me show you how. Oops.
Okay, Dave.
Major catastrophe. Hang on. All right. Hold the phone. Folks, watch this. This is dog therapy. Okay, this is what we want to do. No, this is the bad leg? Yeah, just like this. And then you're petting her, you're just petting her belly, get her calm down. And then you just grab this like that. And then like that. And then like that. And then like that. You know what I mean? And hold it. So you hold it for 5 seconds. And you hold it for 5 seconds. You just do that repeatedly for a handful of minutes to work the joint. That's all you do. All right. A lot going on here on the show. What the hell was that? This is as a result of Daisy's surgery. I'll get into that in just a second. Keep the Queen of the Forest microphone handy in case she needs to weigh in. Okay. Where was I? Okay, so I was talking about Diodonis. That's coming up. Some of you may remember the name Rob Bliss. He just produced a 2.5-minute video that has the world talking because of how disgusting it is. It is really, really eye-opening, and I can't believe it. And I'm working to get Rob on the show very, very soon to talk about it. I don't know if I don't think I'll have him on this show today, but he's making a lot of news with this video that I have to play the audio from. Reluctantly, I'm going to play the audio. It's very, very rough, but I'll get into that. Have you folks received a packet of seeds in the mail? What is this? What are these? Have you heard about this? I
have these Chinese seeds.
You've heard about the Chinese seeds?
I have. They said not to plant them.
Oh, you just blew my story.
Oh shit.
Just can you
Okay, I'm leaving.
Yeah. No, stay in here.
No, she's good. I don't want to do it too much on the first day. I have to go down to the other dog.
All right. Okay. All right. Queen of the Forest is leaving. It's okay. Okay, love you. I'll probably call you at some point. Okay, see ya. Bye-bye. Let's see. Can you see Daisy here? No, you can't. All right. Chinese seats. We'll talk about that. Near the bottom of the moral barrel is a Florida man who defrauded the government of pandemic money. You won't believe this guy. Good news, he got busted. I'll have that. But first, let's talk about a puppy dog who's having a rough morning. Now, Daisy is I think the oldest. It's either her or Benny. We don't know Benny's age. But, with bulldogs, it gets a little rough. They don't live nearly as long as other dogs. So here we are in this 6 years into her life. She got plenty of life left to go. She blows out her ACL. And the way it is with dogs, when one goes, the other one is going to go. It's not like if you twist your knee and it goes. For some reason, they just wear out, and hers did. This is, 6 months after the first one was repaired, so we got to do it again. Same doctor in Kalamazoo. By the way, Kalamazoo, this on the way there, it is an absolute war zone on the way to this vet. And there you have to drive through probably one of the roughest parts of town. And in the two times that I've had to have this dog operated on, there's been major incidents that have happened along the street leading up to the vet. When she got the first knee done, there was a massive house fire. And people are running around, holy shit, screaming and yelling. And I don't think anybody died in the thing, but it was a bad blaze. And then this time, on the way back after we picked up Daisy from this vet in Kalamazoo, first of all, an ambulance went screaming by, and that was unrelated to the next thing that happened. And then as we continued down the road, there was a police standoff. No joke. Like, cops blocked the road. And then a block later, there was another line of cop cars, and you had to go around it. And there had crime scene tape, and there was the forensics. They're taking pictures of fucking shell casings on the ground and shit. I'm not making it up. Something bad happened on this road. So, it's like, God dang it, let's get out of here. But that's where the vet is. So we dropped Daisy off yesterday. She gets the procedure done, this deal to get the leg in working order. And then, the recovery is pretty rough because the dog is just out of sorts, really loopy. She's got an army of medicines to take, does not want to put any pressure down on the leg. And you basically, with Daisy, you like take the dog outside, and she's heavy, so I got to take her all the way up the stairs, all the way down the stairs, and you might be like, well, why don't you just leave her downstairs? But she can't be alone, because if the dog starts to move, if she gets the urge to jump on that couch for some reason, that's a problem. You don't want her doing that, and you don't want her around other dogs in case she decides to get a wild hair and play. You don't want that. Nothing sudden. Everything is subtle when it comes to this recovery, just because I've done it before with the other leg on the dog. So, we dropped another $3,500 on this leg. There you go. Care credit card swipe. All right. Add it to the pile. I'm scared to death of the amount of money from the first dog that I had back when I was 20 years old to right now when I'm 50. I can only imagine the dollar amount spent in these 30 years on dogs. I don't care. I love it. So, all right, that's how you do it. So we leave her in the closet here last night. The dog is in this closet. There's these pee pads everywhere. And so because what she does is she just lays there and pees. So that's how she goes pee. If she has to pee, she just pees and just sleeps in it. I'm like, oh, my God. So quite frequently, this is how it is. Like she already went to the bathroom right where she's laying. So what she'll do is she'll go pee. And then you got to take her and you got to get soapy water and clean her belly, dry it, use the carpet cleaner, clean the carpet, set it all up again, and here you go. And then she pees again. So that's how it is until she can move around and feel, like she wants to go outside. But the dog, she's not going to go outside at all. I mean, in fact, I took her outside today all the way down the steps. She weighs 68 pounds, and I'm not strong. going down the steps. I'm not like boring Dean, who could probably just lift her with one hand. And so you take her outside, and she just looks at you like, what? You think I'm going to go? And she's just lifting the one leg up, and then she sits down. She's like, screw you, I'm not moving. Holy crap, is that rough. So, all right, that's what's happening right now. She's just laying here. I don't think you're going to catch a glimpse of her, but she is bummed. It looks like she's a dog that when they come out of the hospital, like they've been treated for a broken leg, like got hit by a car or something like that. But no, she'll make a full recovery. And the issue is, if you don't get this treated, the dog develops arthritis. And that there's no turning back from that. If the joint becomes arthritic, they have a horrible, painful life, and then they just, that's it. You end up having to put them to sleep because of the arthritis. And he actually got a good look at the joint. You can actually just see it, So he's got the dog opened up, and he takes a look at it. And he goes, all right, she has a little bit of arthritis on the knee, and that was because of the injury. And he goes, but you're good. It's not a problem. This is a good thing. You got this taken care of. So, all right, money well spent in my book. This is an emergency animal hospital, too. So, while you're waiting outside because of COVID, you can't go in. They bring the dog out to you, hand you your medicine, and they're like, all right, here you go. See you around. There's people walking up with injured dogs. And sure enough, man, while we're there waiting, 2 dogs come walking up this, and everybody's scared shitless. They have a scared shitless look on your face because these are all emergencies. And one lady comes walking up. She got a dog, and a dog's foot's all bandaged up, and the dog looks bummed, and she looks bummed, tears in her eyes. She hands the dog off. Who the hell knows what happened to that dog? And some hillbilly dude comes up with a Doberman Pinscher, big-ass dog. And he's carrying that thing, and I swear, I was like, please, if I see a dog with its eye hanging out, it's going to wreck my day. I couldn't figure out, but the dog looked pissed and concerned and worried, and the dog's ears were back and scared to death, and the guy's all bummed out. It was awful. Like, get me out of Kalamazoo. So I got my dog, got her in the car. We took off to watch the police standoff in Kalamazoo. All right, there you go. That is the open of the Eric Zane Show podcast. The embellisher has been repaired by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid. Love those folks. Online at irvines.com. Okay, if you need anything repaired in the car and you are in the West Michigan area, I want you to reach out to my friends at Irvine's. They are the best. I love the fact that, okay, hey, you drop the car off like I did with my dad's truck, the embellisher. I dropped it off. I go, why don't you tell me what's wrong with this thing? All right, so the techs go to work on it. They go, all right, check your email. Actually, they just sent me an email. You look at it, and there's a list of what is the problem, complete with pictures, the clear, concise explanation. And then if you want that repaired, and then they put like a status. Does it have to be repaired? Yes. Does it, yes, no, maybe, whatever. And you just say, yes, I want it done. And then that's it. That's how you do it. And with COVID-19, everything is done over the phone. You really don't have to see anybody. You have to talk to anybody. It's basically just do it all online after you drop that thing off, and then you go, you pick it up, they throw you the keys, you're good to go. Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid. If you're on 44th Street in West Michigan, near 131, just east of 131, a couple blocks down is a street called Stafford. That's where you turn. Irvine's. Thank you. Going up north, Baldwin Ace Hardware. Baldwin Ace Hardware, the beacon of DIY awesomeness in the Northland. You are the best. Thank you to you. They also sponsored Diana, so her presence in here was brought to you by Baldwin Ace Hardware. When you go up north, just drop in, say hi to the folks there, and keep them busy and working at Baldwin Ace Hardware. And then finally, for this round, JM Synthetics. My gosh, they're now part of Ionia Outdoors. They got a display there if you want to get some AMSOIL products at Ionia Outdoors. That is a new store that just opened up over the weekend. I got a call on them possibly getting on the podcast. But you can get the products there. But what I really like you to do is go to jmsynthetics.com and get the stuff online from Zaniac Jason. All right, jmsynthetics.com. Watch a little bit more baseball yesterday. Watch the Detroit Tigers. They came back and beat Kansas City yesterday, so that was cool. They are now 3-2 on the year. I'm not saying I'm totally getting into it, but it's just nice to watch a sporting event. I'll give you that. But boy, this appears to have ended or is ending before it even began for the Florida Marlins baseball team. And we covered this a little bit yesterday, but it's getting worse. And I'm a little bit shocked at how no one is really talking about the stupidity of the team when it comes to COVID-19. Because, if you are, let's say you work at any one of my sponsors. Let's say you work at, Applied Imaging. And you find out that, one of the employees has been diagnosed with COVID-19. There's really only one thing to do at that point. Everybody goes home until the danger window passes. Well, all the time you hear about a restaurant, somebody gets sick at a restaurant, they got to shut the restaurant down because they don't want to jeopardize the health of the coworkers, the other coworkers, or the customers, or whatever. Well, baseball do not do that. And this is the organization that the players are tested like crazy. And they're the organization, along with all the other sporting organizations, that have a huge abundance of tests and a quick turnaround to get you diagnosed so that you can play baseball. Whereas you get a guy like Stu McAllister, he takes a test. It takes days to find out if there's a problem. And you all know the rule. If you're being tested, you stay away from people if you're awaiting the results of a test. And God forbid it comes back positive. You sure as hell don't want anybody else around for fear that they could possibly get sick. The Marlins did none of that because, Sunday, Jose Urena, the pitcher for the Marlins, is it Juan or Jose? I don't know. It's something Latino. Urena came back positive with a test result. He has COVID-19. So the players decide, all right, okay, now we got to figure out, should we go and win one for Urena? What should we do? Let's have a players meeting and find out if we're going to play. No, you can't do that. You have a guy sick. That means you're all potentially sick. And it turns out it's not quite all of them, but, a little more than half now. The number is ballooned to 17 of the Florida Marlins staff and players have it. They've been diagnosed with it. And Rob Manfred, the guy who runs baseball, I don't know what that dickhead is smoking, but this is embarrassing because Sunday comes, they take the vote, the players do. And, if you're, if whoever is running the team there, did you not know that you had a player come back positive for COVID-19 and you said, go ahead and play? Because that's ridiculous. All these people get exposed to it. They all catch it. What about the other team that they're playing at the time? It was the Philadelphia Phillies. So now this is in jeopardy of completely ruining the baseball season for the whole damn league, if you think about it. Because who knows what else can happen at this point? Because yesterday when we talked about this, it was the number was only 12. Now it's ballooned to 17. People are sick. And Rob Manfred is like, okay, well, all right. We got a problem. That means we're going to miss the Monday game between the Marlins and the Orioles. And all right, Tuesday, but we should be back to baseball on Wednesday. It's like, dude, we've been at this for months. Everybody knows how this works. And somehow you manage to publicly say that baseball will be back for the Florida Marlins on Wednesday. Everybody knows that's not going to happen. Are you high? My God. And it's not. They've already adjusted it, and they're temporarily suspended the season, which, hell, this is going to mess up everything because baseball is playing basically every day all the way until the end of this, until these 60 days are done. When the Tigers started their season, it was go. And from then to the end of the season, they get 1 day off. One. So they play 60 games in 61 days. So I don't know what the hell the Marlins are going to do at this point, but this is screwed up. 17 players for the Florida Marlins after the latest round of testing. A majority of the Washington Nationals players voted against going to Miami for this weekend's 3-game series against the Marlins. So the players like, fuck that, I'm not doing this. And this is what you get. You know, Florida is now the second most infected state. California is number 1. Now New York, number 3. Michigan, Tennessee passed Michigan. Did you see that? I'm looking at it like it's standings. These are standings that you don't want to be on top of. News of the latest positive tests and the Nationals' vote was first reported by the Athletic. The Marlins outbreak continued to disrupt the schedule Tuesday, the 6th day of the pandemic-delayed season, with the Marlins' home opener against Baltimore postponed. And then the Yankees were supposed to play the Phillies, and that was called off because in the event that Phillies players are infected, because they just got done playing the Marlins. They've got to, like, nip this in the bud. Now, if all the Marlins players come back negative, then all right, you can proceed. But you've got a hole now in the schedule. I think what you possibly could have here is baseball. You know, you just wipe out the Marlins from the schedule. They're done. There's no way they can make this up. You know, if they keep missing games like this, they're going to have to do like triple headers to make them all up. And every day that passes, you know, I mean, there's going to be 2 days left in the season. And they're going to have to play 30 games on one day and 30 more games on the next day. You might want to just award the World Series trophy based on who's standing last in this shit show. I give them credit for trying, but to me, the blame falls solely on the Marlins for making this a whole hell of a lot worse. I mean, even with one guy, it would have disrupted the season for them. But now you have 17 sick, and God knows how many didn't have to get sick if you guys had just thought this through. And this also comes back to, this is a little bit different. Now, basketball has the players in a bubble where once they're in, they're in. And it's kind of like it keeps them safer that way. And so, you know, it sounds like a terrible way to live to actually have like this reality show NBA season. And I'm not sure about hockey, but boy, it really seems strange to me that this is all going on and with the hopes of possibly getting a full season in. And then football. My God. Can you imagine the outbreaks that could happen in football? You have a full contact sport and everybody breathing, snotting, blood, sweat, and tears all over each other. Wow. This might turn into a gigantic shit show. So the Marlins lead an outbreak. Let's see. Major League Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred told MLB Network on Monday that there are factors that would force Major League Baseball to alter plans. A team losing a number of players had rendered it completely non-competitive would be an issue that we would have to address and have to think about making a change. Whether that was shutting down a part of the season, the whole season, that depends on the circumstances. Same thing with respect to league-wide. You get to a certain point league-wide where it does become a health threat, and we certainly would shut down at that point. Wow. Side note, there was benches clearing in the Dodgers game against the Astros, and it was interesting because Dodgers pitcher Joe Kelly, he kind of pissed off Alex Bregman. He dusted him off the plate. And then Kelly struck him out. He struck out Carlos Correa, and he started to like mock him as he was walking off the field. So then the Astros and the Dodgers, the bench is clear, and they kind of met like at home and just a little bit shy of each other. I think that they kind of just screamed at each other, and their people were wearing masks, holding each other back. It's like, oh, God, I don't know if we were ready for baseball. I don't know if we're ready for sports, frankly, in this pandemic. Because if it's going to affect the bench clearing brawl, I mean, seriously, if they think twice about a fight, which is the most interesting portion of a baseball game, damn it, I don't want to be part of that. Okay, speaking of Florida, we got a Florida man in the news. Remember all that, when you, if you got a business, you can apply for a loan, which a lot of these can be forgiven by the government. based on if you take a certain amount or most of the money or all of it, and you designate it to keep your employees afloat. That was the point of some of these loans, the PPP loan that the government made available to businesses. Now, you go on and you fill out a form, and because, truth be told, I did fill one of these out. I have only one employee, but they did give me the ability to apply. They said, well, anybody could apply, and all you do is you provide information about your business, and I did. I wrote Eric Zane Show Podcast or Eric Zane Productions LLC. How many employees? 0. And then you list a long bit of information about your business. And then they get back to you and they say, all right, this is the loan that you can access. And they actually offered me a lot of money, like just under $30,000. And I totally declined the whole thing because it worked out for me and I didn't need it. And so I was like, fuck that. I don't want to deal with this because there's a lot of red tape that goes along with it. And somebody else could use that money and whatever. I don't want any part of it. I don't want anything being held over me, and I just don't want to deal with it. But you fill out the information on the honor system, and then they go back and they fact check what you've put in after the money gets to you. So this idiot, I think he had I'm not exactly clear on the business he had. I think it was like a paving company or something like that. He went ahead and put all this information in about his business. And the government said, all right, yeah, we got to keep you afloat. Here's $4 million. This asshole had no intention of taking that money and paying his employees because he didn't even have those employees. He spent the money on Lamborghinis, chicks, hotel rooms, jewelry, and clothes. David Hines, the first thing he did when he got his $4 million in COVID-19 relief funds from the feds for his, it was a moving business. His supposedly ailing South Florida moving business was get a Lamborghini Hurricane Evo. That's a $318,497 car. It was not on the list of permissible expenses under a Small Business Administration loan program meant to protect employees and cover other legitimate costs like rent during the coronavirus pandemic. Wasn't there some other asshole who went to a casino and he got the check and then he bet it all on black and he said, fuck, I think they caught that guy too. Hines was arrested on Friday. He also spent thousands of dollars on dating. So he spent it on chicks, jewelry, clothes, high-end hotels at the Fontainebleau and the Cité on Miami Beach. The SBA's payroll protection program, totaling nearly $650 billion, was approved by Congress as part of the CARES Act. I got to pause right there. Do you realize we as Americans have got it made when it comes to protections like that? Not only have we gotten the cash that comes in a check, that $1,200 you got, and I think there's another one coming very, very soon. Not only did we get that, no questions asked, we also, some of you that filed for unemployment, you got $600 a week, okay? And that is going away, but I think it's not going completely away, but it's going away like 2/3. So you're going to get some of that, but that whole thing is, well, a lot of people are like, all right, that's enough. It was meant to push you through to the other side until you found work. So there's that, and then so there's the 1,200, the 600, and then there's the PPP for businesses. And so that's all really great, okay? And I think that's awesome. But if you compare that to what we had to do during the Great Depression, are you aware of the CCC, the Civil Conservation Corps? Sure, the government had money for you, but you had to work for it. Everybody lost their jobs in the Great Depression, so you had bankers, lawyers, whatever, in the breadlines. And FDR said, we're going to put America back to work. We're gonna get them paid. And they're like, oh, cool, all right, man, give us some money. He goes, yeah, but you got to work. What are you talking about? Yeah, I'm going to pay you. He paid people $30 a month, 25 of which was sent home. What do you mean sent home? Well, all these doctors, lawyers, whatever, professionals, accountants, went to these camps to plant national forests and build Appalachian trails. The CCC built all the national parks. And he would set up, they had free room, free board, they'd sleep in tents, they'd work 10 hours a day, and then the money, they'd get $5 to spend like in their own pocket. This is way back when in the Great Depression, so that I guess goes a long way. And then the other 25 was sent home to pay for your family. So I guess my point is we got it made because the government's just giving us all this fucking money and we don't have to go build national forests. Can you imagine if Trump turned around and said, all right, I'm giving you all money during the pandemic, but I'm sending you all to the moon to colonize it. This is what we're going to do. Holy shit. So I don't want to hear any complaints. Just look back to what they had to do in the 19 whatevers during the Great Depression. Count your blessings, stupid. All right. So this guy was counting his blessings. He filled out all the SBA information, and he lied about it all. And then the money poured in, and he thought, well, that's it. It's free money. I have duped the government. Nope. They look into that shit. They have people there to make sure that you're doing exactly what you were supposed to do, and that is pay your employees. Well, he just lied. Didn't even have that amount of employees to get, because they base it all on what your need is. Which, frankly, the fact that they offered me just under $30,000 is freaking great. I was like, holy shit. And when I filled it out, I filled it all out very truthfully. This is what I have. This is what my expenses are. This is what it costs to run the business. They ask you all that shit, and you better not lie on it because they'll find out, just like they did on this guy. Federal investigators, let's see here. Congress is considering another major SBA loan infusion as the raging pandemic continues to hurt the economy. Federal investigators linked the Lamborghini to the guy who appeared in Miami federal court on fraud and other charges Monday because he was involved in a hit-and-run accident on July 11th. It gets worse. So this stupid ass is driving around. He's driving around in the Lamborghini. He hit somebody. Cops impounded his car, and prosecutors intend to seize it. He was held over the weekend at the federal detention center, was granted a $100,000 bond by a magistrate, is allowed to stay at his mother's home with a GPS monitor. His defense attorney declined to comment after Monday's hearing. How'd you like to be that guy? Like, oh, shit. Oh, my God, you idiot. So now he has to wait around at home at his mom's house till October 14th. So all he has to show for it is a Lamborghini that's impounded. He spent it all. According to a criminal complaint, 4 South Florida moving businesses applied for 7 SBA loans totaling $13.5 million through the Bank of America, saying the money would be spent on at least 70 employees with a monthly payroll of $4 million. The bank approved 3 of his applications totaling $3,984,557. The reality, Heinz's companies including Unified Relocation Solutions in Miami, showed monthly revenue and expenses averaging about $200,000, far less than the millions of dollars in payroll that Heinz sought in the PPP applications, a criminal affidavit says. Those purported employees either did not exist or earned a fraction of what Heinz claimed in his PPP application. Greed's a tricky-ass thing, man. That thing... Greed will just make you do stupid shit. Wow. Vagina and money. It's a neck and neck race on which one of those will make you do stupid things. Wow. And that's for a guy. A vagina and a bundle of cash will make a man do really, really dumb shit. Holy cow. Let's see, those purported employees either didn't exist, says the affidavit by a U.S. postal inspector. He says, collectively, Heinz falsely claimed his companies paid millions of dollars in payroll in the first quarter of 2020. State and bank records, however, show little to no payroll expense during this period. This guy is so screwed. He's going to go up the river for a long time. Assistant U.S. Attorney Michael Berger said certain SBA loan scammers have been able to exploit the payroll protection program because while the federal agency is guaranteeing the COVID-19 relief loans issued by banks for eligible small businesses, it is not bothering to check any of the claims in their applications. Wait a minute. Let me read that again. They've been able to do this because while the federal agency is guaranteeing the loans, it's not bothering to check any of the claims in their applications. So they're basically just going approved, 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 which is good and bad. The right people are getting the money quickly, but the scam artists are not. And who knows I think this guy was just caught by chance. I think it was because the hit and run accident, and they're like, wait a minute, how is this? And then somebody sniffed it out and turned him in. It doesn't really say. In the ordinary course of providing the loan guarantee, neither the SBA nor any other government agency checked IRS records to confirm that the applicant had paid the payroll taxes represented in the application, says the affidavit. While his SBA loans were approved, Bank of America began depositing hundreds of thousands of dollars into Heinz's business accounts. Can you imagine that guy just looking online and all of a sudden, boom, there you go, $100,000. He transferred some of those funds into the savings account for his business and then wired $318,000 to Lamborghini Miami. Here you go. Wow. According to the criminal affidavit, Heinz did not blow through all of the money. He closed his moving company's accounts on June 24th, and they showed a balance. Oh, well, quite a bit of that money is still there. It showed a balance of $3,463,000. Some of that may have been his before he committed the crime, but this is good. So what you do is you just seize all of that, sell the Lambo, probably lose a steady amount on it, but you're looking at possibly getting all that money back, and then you get this piece of shit locked up. This is not the first time this loser's been in trouble. In 2018, he flagged down a cop on Miami Beach to report that his girlfriend had stolen his Lamborghini. Yet another one. Police later found that car, but Heinz became uncooperative at the time, and both he and the girlfriend fled before eventually being found and arrested. What? That all sounds weird. So that's the story on this dude, David T. Heinz. Miami Beach, Florida. You are an asshole. Holy cow. That guy. Man, I'm going to need some questions on Dear Meathead. If you could send them along, eric@ericzaneshow.com. I've got a number of them from last week. Craig writes in. Craig, by the way, is sometimes known as Dirk. He is like the biggest fan of Rush. He wanted me to point out that Geddy Lee is 67 today. Ladies and gentlemen, Geddy Lee from Rush, amazing bass player. And I think Zaniac Dirk / Craig may have pounded his pud to an image of Geddy Lee at some point down the road. All right? He is part of a Rush tribute band. Dirk actually was part of the Rush tribute band. Yeah, he writes, shout out to Dirk, who turned 67 today. Wait a minute. Aren't you Dirk? No. Dirk is Geddy Lee. I use the last name Lee on Facebook from the tribute band. Dirk also comes from the tribute band. Rush had nicknames for each member of the band. Dirk. Lurkst. Wait a minute. Lurkst is Alex. And Pratt is Neil. All right, if you say so. There's two things he's passionate about. Getting me to believe him in his political views, and Rush. Thanks for being part of the show. Okay. Tim with a nice comment. This is emailer Tim, who occasionally gets in with a comment or two on the show. I appreciate this, Tim. He's working hard listening to the live stream. He says, podcast is better than radio. Wow, that's sweet. Just another reason why the podcast is so much better than radio. There is no way you could have gotten a BJ on live radio. Oh, you fucker. He's referring to Diana being like on her knees in here. That's gross. Yeah, I wouldn't have. That did not happen. I know what you're thinking. You're sick. And that's what his first email was. Are you getting a beeger on the live feed? Come on, man. Nick says, kidney updates to the show brought to you by Go Maine Diabetic Relief, Inc. If you say so. If that's your charity, you're more than welcome to latch onto it. I'd love to help out your charity. Send any questions for Dad along Eric at ericzaneshow.com. I'll be bringing him in shortly. I'm in kind of like a limbo zone where I don't want to get into another story because of Dear Meathead. But that's okay. Blue Frost IT is the IT sponsor of the show. If your business needs IT services, and you probably will at some point, because imagine you're a small or medium-sized business and somebody, I don't know, opens up an email that they're not supposed to, and all of a sudden you're being held for ransom, ransomware scam, phishing scam. Oh, God. They can help you navigate those. So that would just be terrible. Or if you're if something happens, just fries on your equipment. Maybe you need an update. Maybe you need an upgrade. You got to have an IT team in the fold, because if you got to load up all your stuff and take it to stupid Best Buy or something like that, especially during a pandemic, this is a problem. It's going to take a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of manpower to get that done. It would be so much easier just to call up Blue Frost and say, hey, guys, can you remote in and check out what's happening on my setup? Yep, here we go. They click a button. They're in charge of your computer. Yeah, you got this, this, and this. I'll make the necessary changes, and we'll have you up and running in no time. That's literally how it works. They also have boots on the ground if you need them in person. That all works. If you need more information, 616-200-8550. That is their number. BlueFrostIT.com is their website. You can reach out to them anytime, and they will be able to help you. Grand Rapids' newest power couple in IT, Alan and Ashlyn Gilbert. Thank you from Blue Frost IT for being on board. Hey, Mario Flores, the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage, right over my shoulder. If you need a mortgage, and you will if you're looking for a home, obviously, unless you're like some rich bastard who defrauds the government on a PPP loan, you just pay cash for that house, but I don't think you'll do that. First mortgage, second mortgage, 10th mortgage, maybe a refi. The Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage, they can help you. All right? You don't want to be going about this in a silly way, too. I understand there are going to be people that you may have worked with in the past. Yeah, go ahead. Talk to them. Maybe somebody new. You got a cousin who just got into the mortgage business. You want to pick their brain. But just include Mario in that. All right? Reach out to them. Just click on their logo at ericzaneshow.com. It'll take you right to their page. Van Dyke Mortgage, NMLS number 3035. I don't know what that means, but they want me to tell you about it. That's important. All right. Last but not least, Green Clean Technologies. More tech stuff. If your business has a data center, rows of servers and shit, operate like Tim from I should say emailer Tim. He works in an industry with all sorts of heavy equipment. Computers work all that stuff. You can't have a filthy data center. If you have a data center in your business, you got to have it cleaned appropriately. You're going to have a problem otherwise. Eventually, you have a problem with anything, but you want to be able to extend the life of all of that hardware that's running your software. Okay, that's where Green Clean Technologies comes in. Zaniac Will can give you a quote. Just go to his landing pad website, greencleantechnologies.com, and request a quote from Green Clean Technologies. I'm circling the drain on this spot set here. All right, thank you to them. They also sponsor the email, the Green Clean Technologies inbox, Eric at ericzaneshow.com. Okay, what I'm going to do then is I'm going to save the Rob Bliss story until after Dear Meathead. Got a lot more coming up. with D. Adonis, the liberal voice of America. I'm a little bit scared about D because I was talking with him via Messenger, and we worked out a starting time of 9 a.m. Eastern time for this bit. And then I changed it because I remembered I had Dear Meathead. And first of all, he's a millennial. So I said 8:30. He goes, man, I'm a millennial. I don't get up at 8:30. I'm like, oh, my God. Like, how can you be a successful lawyer if you can't even wake up? Most hardworking Americans are up by like 5, okay? This is lunchtime for half of the country. And here you are at 8:30. You're not out of bed. You sound like a hardworking guy, but what do? You stay up late? Because I was texting him at like 9:30 at night, and he goes, no, man, I got to go to bed right now. I'm like, well, you can't get up at 8:30? How much sleep do you need, D? And so I go, how about 9? And he goes, yeah, all right, I guess I can make that work. I'm like, Jesus, man, 9 a.m.? Are you serious? So then I called him back. All right, I reach out to him on Messenger again. I go, I got my dad at 9. You're going to be after my dad. My dad's first. He's not. If I change my dad, it's going to be a nightmare. He doesn't like anything that is different. You know, if I change our setup, it's going to be a problem. And so he wrote back that was fine, but now I haven't heard from him. So I'm like paranoid that he's going to flake out on me. So I'm hoping not. And then this video that I have to play the audio from is flat out disturbing. It's from a community in Arkansas. That would be Harrison, Arkansas, which is the most racist town in America. And Rob Bliss went onto the street corner in Harrison, Arkansas, just to get the reaction of people if he held up a sign that says Black Lives Matter. Now, I don't want to hear any shit about Black Lives Matter movement being crazy Marxist movement. I get it. I know that Black Lives Matter has a lot of stigma attached to it because of all of the violence that has happened. And you're right. A lot of that is true. But that's not the point. The point is he held the sign to see the reaction of people if in this really racist town of what it would be like if all the townspeople saw a white dude holding a Black Lives Matter sign. And you will not believe this shit. This is gruesome. I'll talk about that coming up in just a bit. But we missed them last week. This is brought to you by JM Synthetics. Dear Meathead. Another edition of Dear Meathead right now. Let's bring him in right now.
Good morning.
Hi, Dad. How are you?
I'm doing well. How about you?
Really good. Really good. It's good to hear your voice. I miss you.
Well, I miss you too, honey. I kind of feel a little strange your truck is not there, or your camper.
Yeah, that was fun. I really enjoyed that. You know, it was a little hectic having to go back and forth with Mom, but you know, it just kind of.
Yeah, I know that, honey.
I just kind of got used to it, you know.
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice to have you around. It's like my son coming home for dinner.
Yeah, it was cool. I really enjoyed it. We had a good time, and we would just sit there and hang out and getting to know your neighbors. It was just like I live right next door to you.
Yeah, and enjoy the love of a family. Because I don't have you here as a family, you know.
Yeah, that's weird. You know, I mean, if you think about it, the only times that we've been that close to each other physically is when. Because you and Mom split when I was 8, and then we would go up north together. But outside of that, there hasn't really been too much extended time where we would wake up at the same place. You know, there's only been a handful of times that's happened over the years.
You're absolutely correct, honey. You're absolutely correct.
And how about the fact?
And,
sorry about that. Go ahead.
And I remember you were here not too long ago. You and your wife, you know.
Right. Yeah.
And that was good. That was great.
Cooked up lamb chops.
And the lamb chops, you did all the cooking and all that. And that puppy of yours, I love O'Neill.
Yeah, that's. I wanted to bring that up. You seem to have made a best friend with O'Neill.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It started laying right in front of me now and just stayed there. And, that's great.
Yeah, he is a...
You got to do that more often.
No, I'm going to. Yeah, I'm going to show up there again, and I'll bring O'Neill. We'll just do the podcast like I did, and or maybe just for a weekend. But O'Neill is an exceptionally calm dog. He's really great.
Yeah.
You know,
And I enjoyed watching her going across a lot over there and screw around with the other dog, you know.
Oh yeah, he was playing with Zach's pit bulls there.
Yeah. So running back and forth. That was great.
All right, now we missed you last week, Dad, but I wanted to get right to it with some questions and answers on Dear Meathead. Is there anything on your mind right now that you want to get off your chest that's burning on your brain that you may have picked up from watching TV or anything in the last week, Dad?
Well, Channel 7 is gone, and that's not that it matters at this point. And it's really a strange thing what the television people are doing really right now. It's just ridiculous how they milk the people. It's just ridiculous. And if they raise the price with the networks of any kind, they're obviously going to raise our price, you know. So it's all money.
So am I understanding, because you're like a Dish Network household, aren't you?
Yes.
And they pulled Channel 7 off Dish Network?
Yes.
And charges for it.
And still charging. You can't get rid of them, get a discount, because if you get rid of them, you lose the other 2-3 channels.
Okay, now I got to ask, is Channel 7 like a favorite in the household?
It used to be. One of them. There's Channel 7, 4, 2, and what's the other one?
20.
And 20.
Do you
that's pretty much.
Yeah.
That's pretty much our program, you know.
Do you remember Bill Bonds?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
he passed away, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He was Channel 7. He'd get drunk on the air and challenge.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he challenged.
Oh my God, that's history.
All right. Well, I'm sorry you're dealing with that, Dad.
Well, hey, it is what it is.
All right, Dad. The first thing I got for you is the Miami Marlins baseball team is in the news. They I don't know if you heard about this, but 17 members of the team, of the baseball team, have COVID. Did you hear that?
I heard that. Isn't that something?
Yeah. Now the whole team might get wiped out for the year, Dad. It's really a screwed up scenario.
Terrible. Now the thing I don't understand, when they say that they all have COVID, you know, what does that mean? That means they're running fever, they're deathbed, or what?
Well, it depends. You know, some people are affected differently. Some people, it's just, it's nothing. It's other people, it's very, very bad. We haven't heard how badly it's affected each one of them, you know?
I'm just wondering, if I got it, would I die? Or is there a cure for me, or what?
Well, it kind of depends. They don't know everything about this. So I think it's basically a if you don't exhibit really bad symptoms, then that's a good thing, and that could happen, or it could be a horrible, painful, ugly death, which is why we don't want to risk that by you or anybody else getting it, you know?
Wow.
Right.
So, I mean, what is it? Why is it that I don't have it so far, or everybody else that I associate with don't have it?
Well, yeah.
Is that because I stay home? I'm not in contact with them?
Exactly. You know, all those, you know how you like to stay home and you like to wear a mask and all those things?
Yeah.
Yeah, that helps protect you, Dad, so I'm told.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you know, I had to go to the hospital last night for the treatment, examination of certain issues.
Oh, okay. All right.
They call it CT scan.
Oh, everything okay?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Yeah, the reason I went there, it's all okay.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know what the answers are going to be. They put you in this machine.
Yeah.
That's just beating up on bang, 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 bang.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's very, very loud.
Oh yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay,
I know that's going to be all right, because the results, what they were talking about, I don't have that.
Okay, well, I won't ask any more questions. You know, I'll save that for off the podcast, because I don't want you.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you know, I mean, that's probably more of a private conversation we'll have. I don't want you to say anything if you're sensitive to that. But
it's no big deal.
Hey, when in a couple of weeks, I'm going to see your niece Mary.
Oh my, what?
I'm going over to Glendale, California.
What are you doing out there?
Well, I've got a scheduled visit because I've got a week's worth of things that I got to do at UCLA Medical Center for this kidney thing.
Huh?
Yeah, I got some testing I got to do. Remember, I was telling you about the kidney.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got to go there, and I got to do a stress test, and I got to spend a week just getting some tests done to see if we can continue to go down the road of being a candidate for the kidney donation.
Eric, I'm so scared of you doing that.
I know you are. It's going to be fine. And by the way, let's not put the cart before the horse. There's a lot of things that have to happen for this to go down. But if it does work, yeah, I'd like to do that. I'd like to give this guy a kidney.
And there's no way I can say or do or anything to change your mind.
You can try. I'll engage you if it makes you feel better. But I have
no logic behind it, but I'm just not into it. That's all.
Dad, it's remarkably sweet that you would be concerned about that, and that's just in one of the 8 million reasons why I and everyone else loves you to death. But I cannot stress enough to you how little danger I am in with this. And I have done extensive research about this. This is so not a fly-by-night decision. I've read numerous statistics about how strong the recovery is and how very, very, very few problems ever occur with this procedure. It's so not a big deal. It really is not. This guy is his life is gonna turn around because of this pal of mine. It is going to be absolutely the most beautiful thing in the world if it goes the way we want it to go. I swear I would not do this if I had potential of harming myself because of my family. I would never want to put my me not being here for them even a possibility. So,
Eric, that is not my issue.
Oh,
my issue is it's a very noble thing that you're doing. That's great. However, just in case, now I'm a diabetic.
Yeah.
I don't know what your life is going to be at the end of the rope.
Right.
But just in case you need it yourself.
Okay. Yeah.
And what happens with one kidney only?
Well, I do have an answer for you. What they do is if you donate a kidney, you automatically, if there is a problem, and this never happens, Dad, it never, because they are able to determine based on the health of my kidneys the odds of anything happening to the one kidney. And let's just say I passed everything beautifully. If there was anything that made them think that there could be an issue in the future with just one kidney, first of all, they wouldn't do it. But if it did, let's just say I got mauled by a dog. Let's say I went over to visit you and Zach's pit bulls ate my kidney. Okay. And I needed a new kidney. I am moved to the tip top of the list because I've already given one. I don't have to wait.
No, my theory is a different theory. My theory is why go under the knife? That's my biggest issue. Why go unnecessarily?
Well, that's the only way to do it.
Listen, it's necessary for your nobility to do what you're doing, but I don't see the necessity of you putting yourself in a possibility of a future complication.
I understand that, and I don't have a problem with anybody not understanding the idea behind it, and that's a totally personal thing that I will talk with you about forever and ever, and I will never ever lose my patience with you about it. It is completely understandable for you to feel that way, but I felt okay. Let me explain this to you because it's quite a religious thing, and I have talked about this before, but I swear on a stack of Bibles, Dad, that when this all popped into my head, it was like I was getting tapped on the shoulder by God. And I know you can understand what that is like. And it was like he was saying to me, you can do this. Why don't you help him? If it's not you, who will it be? If you don't decide to do it, who's going to do it? And that's it. That is why that is the short answer to your question. That is why I did this.
I agree with the fact that it's a very noble thing, honey. I don't agree with the fact that I should give a part of my body that God put it in me for me to use and live by it for the rest of my life.
I understand.
Now, to give it away for someone else is all it creates is nobility.
No, it doesn't.
But I don't know. I have no idea. I'm talking about just the love for my child.
You're a father. You're supposed to talk that way. I'd probably talk the same way about my son. And what a wonderful thing that is to hear you having that much concern. It's absolutely great. And so it's not about that. It's about this guy being able to live his life. And so that's it. That's basically it.
Yeah, you're saving a life. That's a wonderful thing.
That's a big deal. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. It's going to work out. You know, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to be like 94 years old, and you're going to be about 140 at that time. And we're going to be sitting there in the backyard because you're never going to die. We all know that. It's going to be me, you, Joanne, probably the dogs. And if not, we'll all be in heaven. I'll just have one kidney when I'm up there.
Having coffee.
Yeah.
Well, I love your sense of humor, honey. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I'm telling you, this is awesome. I really think this is going to be terrific. But anyway, the reason why I brought that up. I
never doubted your intelligence. So
the reason why I brought that up, Dad, is because your brother Garo, his God rest his soul, his daughter, my cousin, your niece Mary, lives in Glendale. And that is the most populated part of the United States for Armenians. Did you know there's 53,000 Armenians in Glendale, California?
Yes. I don't know the numbers, but I know there's a lot of Armenians there.
There's so many Armenians. Only 200,000 people live there, and 53,000 of them are Armenians. There's so many Armenians that the streets are written, like the street signs are written in Armenian.
Wow. Unfortunately, you can't read or write Armenian.
Yeah, I know it. I wish I did. You know that they all went to Armenian school when they got to the U.S. I don't know if it was Mary, but I know for sure Janet went to Armenian school.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's how she learned to. Well, and because of her mother, they would only speak Armenian. So all that group speaks Armenian. So when I go see these people, they're all speaking Armenian, and they're probably talking about me and saying I'm ugly or something, and I don't even know it. You know.
You know, my sister still can't talk English, really.
Well, I know. Yeah.
Half the time she says things I don't even understand. It's whoa.
You're kind of in limbo because you've been away from the language so long.
Yeah, but I can talk.
I know it. Yeah, you can do it, but you don't care to do it, right?
No, it just doesn't just enter my brain.
You know that people who speak multiple language are often looked at as very, very bright. You know that?
Well, thank you.
You know, because you speak Farsi, Armenian, and English. I mean, most people two languages is often great. You speak 3 languages.
Well, unfortunately, I don't practice all the others.
I know.
I pretty much lose it all. So
hey, let me read you an email.
Well, by the way, when are you leaving?
Oh yeah, I am leaving on the 8th of August, Saturday, August 8th.
Well, I certainly would say a prayer for you.
You're gonna. Well, I
pray for you that you would fail.
Yep, I understand that. He's like, I hope he doesn't pass. I hope he fails the test, guy.
Oh my God, there.
I know.
Oh
well. Tim writes this, dear Eric. Holy.
Is it Tim?
Tim Tim. He wrote, holy crap.
Timothy.
Yes, holy crap, Eric. Your dad is one of the most genuine, sweetest fathers I have ever heard. You are very blessed. Wow. You are very blessed to have him in your.
God bless you, Tim.
Oh yeah, he can sense the love. He can hear the concern in your voice. You know, it's because of you that I made this decision. You put so much love into my heart when I was growing up, despite the miles between us. That's why that you and Mom, well, and by extension, Joanne and even Wally, made me into the man I am. So I got it from you.
Bless your heart, honey. Bless your heart. You're just wonderful.
All right. Thank you, Dad. Dear Meathead, what is your... Oh, boy, this is weird. What is your favorite season, Leon writes? What is your favorite season of the 4, Leon? Or that Leon writes to you, Dad. You're not Leon.
What's the season of what? Of the 4?
Sorry, I read that weird. What is your favorite season of the year?
Well, generally, the season that I love is when I got contact with all of my family members and friends. Wait a minute. You're talking about weather-wise, honey?
I think just the one you like the best. Yeah.
I don't like the winter, really. I enjoy the winter because it's part of the makeup of the universe. But I definitely like the spring and the fall. Because in the spring, it gives me the things that I have to do to bring up the fall. You know, it comes and it goes.
So, all right, you said something about the winter is part of the makeup of the universe, right, Dad?
Of the universe, basically. There's 4 seasons.
I gotcha.
But the most important thing is the other season that I'm talking about, because for instance, the spring, I'm preparing the ground, I'm planting things. Fall, you're harvesting. And then, of course, winter, you lock yourself in a house.
Uh-huh.
That's kind of puts me back.
All right, so I'm thinking that spring or summer is your favorite. Which one's your favorite?
Spring.
Really? All right.
Preparations. I like the preparations of the rest of the seasons coming up.
All right, I can see that. All right, very good. I like summer myself. Thank you to Leon. All right.
All
right. Let's see. Dear Meathead, I have a friend. This is Dean. He writes, I have a friend whose wife wants me to come over there and clean their pool in my Speedo bathing suit while he is away. Should I do it? Uh-oh. Please embellish. Sign, Boring
Wait a
Dean.
minute. Go over this one more time.
All right. I think there's something going on here. He wrote, Dear Meathead, I have a friend whose wife calls me to come over and clean their pool while I'm wearing a Speedo while he's away. Should I do it?
That's kind of strange, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's very strange.
I don't get it.
I don't either.
Is that a fetish?
I'm not sure what it is. I think it's...
Yeah, and it's kind of strange. Whatever she wants to do, that's fine. It's her. This is America, you can do whatever you want to do as long as you don't harm someone else.
Yeah, I know, but I feel bad for the husband.
Is this friend got a husband?
Yeah. Actually, that's what Dean wrote. He said he's got a friend whose wife called him up and said, "Hey, my husband's away. Why don't you put on your Speedo and come clean the pool?"
She's got some plans.
Oh yeah, I think she's thinking about touching his wiener or something.
I don't know. I don't get it. I do not understand it. That's not normal. That's not natural.
No. Really, really
strange. So as far as I'm concerned, keep away from it unless you want a headache.
Yeah, that sounds like a real headache there, Dad. I absolutely agree with that. All right, Kenny writes.
That's my advice for that.
Yes. Next, Kenny writes this. Dear Ruben, I, like everyone else, love you and Joanne very much. We always enjoy when you both make an appearance on the show. I personally know.
Thank you, Kenny.
And then he writes, I know somebody who has donated a kidney to a man who, because she did that, now has gone on to get married, have their first child together, and 3, his wife is about to have another baby. It's a great thing to do, but it is also a very loving and selfless act, and in my opinion is one of the most spectacular things someone can do for another person. And I believe God will keep Eric safe and keep him safe in his endeavor. Signed, Kenny in Nashville.
Kenny, I really appreciate your kindness, and I appreciate you building confidence in me for what my thoughts are. So it's great. It really is. I mean, one human being saving another human being's life by doing the contribution of her or his body parts to survival. That's great. But as a father or something, I don't know. I'm not comfortable with that. I would not contribute any part of my body to someone else for survival.
Yeah.
However, I don't say I definitely will not do that. I don't know.
Yeah, you know.
If it was part of my family, like my son and all that, maybe I would consider that.
Yeah, I get it. You know, and
So
it's
just it's an individual type of a thing. Otherwise, I'm not trying to stop anyone from doing that.
No.
Even my son,
Yeah.
I allow him to decide for himself.
Yep.
So.
By the way, I was talking with a family member. I was talking with Jim, and he goes, "Hey, man, you shouldn't have told Dad about that." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And I'm like, if I didn't tell Dad about it, can you imagine if something went wrong and how upset he would be if I hadn't told Dad about it?
Yeah, I'm grateful for your thinking. That's beautiful.
I'm like, well, yeah, I'm going to tell my dad about it. If I can't tell my dad about it, there's something wrong with the world, you stupid dummy.
Yeah, well, hey, to each his own.
Yeah.
Everyone's got their own personality and their own opinions, but I don't know. I think I would have been hurt.
Oh my God, you'd have been so upset if I didn't tell you. Oh, yeah, I'm very upfront with you. That's why you like me the most.
Yes. By the way, we had him over here, your brother and his wife, a couple of days ago.
That's good. I'm sure it was a good time.
Nice. That was really nice.
All right. Dear Meathead, what has been the most memorable vacation you've ever had and why? Either good or bad. Melinda writes.
I really want to say one of them. Now, this is not the most memorable. When you were a tiny little guy and we were vacationing and you could hardly walk, you were that tiny, and we went somewhere that required we take a little boat, and I needed to pick you out of the boat and put you on land. And you were scared out of your brain as a little kid because you thought you're going to fall in that water, and I don't know. I don't think death was.
No. Where were we?
Fear of it, and you raised your arms towards me and said, "Daddy, no," because I had to leave you on land and then get out myself to get you away from the water area.
Yeah. Are you sure you weren't? Are you sure you weren't watching Gilligan's Island or something?
No, I was watching you. And it was just, I don't know. It's kind of, when you said that, it just popped to my brain. So as far as that goes.
Okay, so you don't remember where we were or anything?
We were vacationing somewhere. I don't know. No, I have no clue. That was like 60 years ago, or 50. I don't know.
I was less than that. I'm only 50 years old.
Must have been 80 years old. I don't know. What the hell?
All right. I thought you were going to say when we all went to California and Mary's husband at the time, Vaha, went underwater and played the trumpet because he was so drunk.
I have so many memories. I don't remember one from another anymore, really.
Yeah, she was married to that crazy Russian guy. Remember him?
Oh, yeah. He took a trumpet, went underwater, started playing the trumpet.
Oh, my God.
And you were...
Remember the mothballs?
You had drank mothballs or ate mothballs or something. You got sick.
Yeah, now that was a vacation. That was
yeah.
good.
Oh my God! And that backyard that wasn't even developed, but they had a pool in there.
Yeah, they had a pool and a trumpet. And they dive in the water and start playing the trumpet. I'd never seen. It was incredible.
My God. I remember that, man. You got good mind, good memory.
That's what I remember.
My wife remembers all that. I don't remember anything.
I remember that crazy Russian. He'd get me out of the pool, and he goes, hey, because he gave me that big shot of whiskey with honey in it.
Vodka.
Yeah,
What the hell was that?
He took vodka and then he mixed it with like whiskey or something like that. He made some crazy.
I don't know.
He put a little honey in it. He goes, "Yeah, take this, drink this. This will make you feel
Oh, my
better.
God. You're just a little kid.
Drink the vodka." And I'm like, "What are you
What did
doing?"
you want?
He made me drink it, and
You were
then
8 years old.
yeah, I know it.
Then?
Unbelievable.
Oh, boy.
I think he was 10.
No,
How about the goof guy, the screwiest family I've ever had.
I'll
you know?
never forget because we got off the airplane and the Iron Sheik pro wrestler was on the plane with us. Remember that
Oh,
guy,
yeah.
the Iron Sheik? He was sitting right
Yes.
next to us. He was like the nicest guy in the world.
Yeah, well, those guys are all nice,
Yeah.
really.
All right, hey Dad, I gotta cut you loose. I gotta get to D Adonis. So, but I just want to say thanks. Thanks for being on with the show again for Dear Meathead. Okay.
All right. Oh, hey, you get a chance, would you call
Yeah, I'll call you. I want to find out about that trip.
later on?
Yeah.
Joanne has a question for you.
All right,
Also, when are you scheduled to leave?
August 8th.
August 8th. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You're going to be gone for a week?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, I love you, honey, and wish you well. I'm sure I'll be talking to you
Yeah,
before you go.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to you in like half an hour.
Okay. All right, honey. Say hello to your baby. You know who the baby is, don't you?
Diana.
Yeah. Okay. And take care of that truck, will you?
Oh yeah, your granddaughter Jackie is a hillbilly. You should see
You
her.
You shouldn't let that punk drive that car.
You should see her go, man. She's just like she loves that truck, man.
Yeah. So do I. I miss it.
I know you do. I know you do. All right, I love you.
Okay. I love you, and say hello to the family for us. And Joanna's sending her love.
All right, Joanne, I'll talk to you, baby. Love you.
Hey, honey.
Okay, Dad.
Bye, honey, and
Okay.
thanks for calling.
See you guys. Bye-bye. There you go. Dear Meathead, I was, tell you what, when I brought up my cousin Mary in Glendale, he's going to say, well, why are you going? And I told him about kidney donation some time ago, and he was not happy. And we haven't discussed it since. But, so it's an elephant in the room. When I saw him just the other day, we didn't discuss it. And that discussion had to happen a little bit more in depth. So we are not going to have a meeting of the minds on this. He is dead set against me doing this, as that's what dads do with their kids, But that is just so sweet. Damn it. He is just the best. Thank you for the emails on Dear Meathead. That segment is still one of the most popular things we ever do. Well, of all the things we do, I think it's the most popular thing we do. Brought to you by JM Synthetics. Thank you to Jason for sponsoring the show. We'd still do it if Jason wasn't here, of course, being a sponsor of it, but it is absolutely incredible. Thank you. All right, so thank you to JM Synthetics. And a couple sponsors before I bring D in here. Horizon Hydroponics. Use the code Zane Show at checkout. I think I'm getting that right. I should probably make sure. I know I've got a coupon code here. Let's see. Where is it? I know there's a coupon code. Yeah. Use the coupon code Zane Show at checkout at Horizon Hydroponics. Okay? That gives you 10% off your order when you buy online. Okay? So if you go to horizonhydroponics.com, type in Zane Show at checkout, you'll save an additional 10% on all the stuff you need to grow things well. I don't know what it is. Marigolds, succulents, or cannabis. Make some solid cannabis. No one says it like that. Hey, you're making solid cannabis. Have the best buds if you utilize Horizon Hydroponics. Got a video that I'm going to shoot there. Going to go Facebook Live with them on Thursday of this week, so tomorrow. Thank you to Horizon Hydroponics, Horizen, hydroponics.com. Got a gunsmith, BK Guns and Stuff, part of the Saranac Shit Kickers Brigade between JM Synthetics and BK Guns and Stuff. They have a special going on. They get them while they last on 22 ammo. I just saw they posted that. That's a tough thing to get these days. It's tough to get a handgun these days. It's tough to get 22 ammunition. It's tough to get a shotgun. Everybody's buying it all up because they think the end of the world is coming. But anyway, you got a weapon, you want it repaired, refurbished, firearms transfer, BK Guns and Stuff. Click on their logo at ericzaneshow.com. If you have a small business and you want to get your word out efficiently and effectively, sometimes you utilize Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, all those platforms. If you're doing it yourself, you're doing it wrong. You got to hire StellaFly to get your word out through all those platforms, okay? StellaFly.com. Great local company, amazing startup, helping businesses get their word out. If you need more information, go to StellaFly.com. They can help you navigate the tricky waters of social media to make sure that your message is being put out there appropriately so that more people can hear about your business. That's how it works. All right. Let's bring in D. Adonis. He's known, I gave him the name, the liberal voice of America. Keep your fingers crossed. I hope he doesn't flake out on me. D.
Hello. What's good, E? What's good?
Hey, man, how are you?
I'm good. I'm headed to Walgreens trying to get some medicine. My friend is sick, so I hope it ain't the COVID-19, but I'm going to get him some cold medicine.
What are the symptoms of your pal?
Sore throat, headache. He think it's sinus. A little hot, a little chill.
Yeah.
I'm about to see if he got a fever or not.
Okay.
But if that's the case, I'm gonna drop his stuff off at the front door because I'm not going in.
Yeah, man. I'm scared to death of this too. Like you, and you've just recently moved to Tampa, Florida, isn't that right?
Exactly. And now you sick?
Yep. Well, I wish that friend the best. You know, sometimes people think that they have it. Like I have a very close friend who was certain that he had it, and he didn't. He did not have it.
Oh, right. Well, I hope you don't have it because I'm not going to get it. Hey. I'm not dying before Trump. I'm not going to die before Trump, okay?
Yeah.
I will see him die first.
Yeah, I hear you, D. D, why did you move to Florida?
Oh, because I was tired of the cold. You know, I moved to Michigan from Florida.
Oh.
You know, I was in Jacksonville, Florida. Yeah, I was in Jacksonville, Florida. I taught ESC students in English for about 3 years in Jacksonville, Florida, in Duval County before I moved to Michigan for law school. And because it's online, I just decided to do my last semester back in Florida, in Tampa. There's another location here.
Okay. All right. So I guess that your days now are study, stay home. Study, stay home, right?
Yes. And a little alcohol. And yes.
Now, hey, I was making fun of you on the podcast because you said that 8:30 is too early in the morning.
Yeah, if I was going to wake up at 8:30, I would have took a day class. I go to class from 6 to 9. I'm not going to play with you, E. No, 8:30? Who does that but daycare people? I'm not in daycare.
See, I mean, most of America is up and running by 5:30.
Most, not all, and I'm included in the all percentage.
All right. Well, you know, when you finally get a big boy job, you're going to have to get up early, D.
Right. Exactly.
Hey, D.
I feel it.
Yeah. What type of lawyer are you going to be again when it's all said and done?
I told you I want to join the Air Force. I want to be JAG.
That's right.
So they can pay them. So they can pay themselves back all the student loan money.
That's right. So, oh my God, isn't that crazy? All that student. Hey, when I got done with college, I owed $90,000.
I'm at over 300.
Oh my God, come on.
I have an associate's, a bachelor's, a master's, and now my doctorate. I'm at over 300. Trust me.
Jesus, D, that's going to take a lifetime to pay it off.
I told you I'm joining the Air Force. I'll be fine.
Well, I'm excited for your future. How long? What's the timeline? I mean, once you get done, how long till you think you can join the Air Force?
Well, you sign up now, and then you already accepted. You got your place, and then once you pass the bar, you just go straight into officer training. So to be a captain. And I've already did the process and everything, like interviews and stuff like that. So I'm just waiting to hear back. And then once I get accepted, that's just it. Once I take the bar in February, then or July of next year, then I'll just go right on in.
That's great, man. I really like that. I'm actually excited about the prospect of you doing that. So
I know. I'm going to be jagged like on TV.
Yeah, I know it. D, how old are you? Like 22, 23?
Oh, that's sexy. But no. I am 32.
Oh, my God. You're 32 years old. Holy shit. I had no idea. I thought you were way younger than that.
I know. I don't look it. I look very young. I've done a lot in my life. And in my 20s, I've done a lot. I'm ex-military, too, already. I'm ex-Army.
Oh, okay. So you, finished up your time there and said, all right, I'm done, or did you get thrown out?
No, I got out at 2 years for failure to adapt, general on an honorable condition. So I still got to keep all my benefits. But they just was like, I wasn't adapting well. And I said, I agree. Let me out.
Wait a minute. Failure to adapt. What does that mean? You didn't conform?
Failure to adapt. I wasn't really showing up for PT in the morning. I'm not going to run Monday, Wednesday, and Friday 2 miles. That's ridiculous. I did that on Wednesday. I was in a different headspace then. I was 20 years old. I wasn't trying to do all of that extra stuff. I felt like I was physically fit yesterday. Why I got to exercise every day at 4 a.m.?
Yeah, but isn't the Army supposed to be you got to do what you're told?
Why you think I'm joining the Air Force? The second time around.
Now, if you with the knowledge that you struggled in the Army, can they hold that against you and say, "Yeah, you had a problem in the Army, we're not taking you"?
Nope, I already got the waiver.
Right.
Okay, when I did my application, my major already waived it. They looked at how I've progressed over the 10 years that I've been out, and I have progressed. Okay.
All right, now D, I want to talk to you about several things. I gave you a heads up ahead of time, but I've been calling you off of the air or when I'm not with you as D Adonis, the liberal voice of America. What do you think about that being known as the liberal voice of America?
That is sexy, I must have to say, and I like that. The Adonis is the Greek god of beauty, and so anything you do, it must have sex behind it, sex appeal. So I like the way you came up with that. I do approve.
Okay. D Adonis, the liberal voice of America, joins us. I have the segment open up for sponsorship if anybody wants to join, because D wants to get paid, right?
Yes.
Can you imagine if you get super famous and you end up becoming having a podcast where you're like the liberal voice of America giving legal advice?
That'll be so dope. Ooh, I can see myself now on all the billboards and in New York and in California. Just me. Everybody, all eyes on me.
Right.
And whatever I say is gospel.
D, as a military lawyer in the Air Force, what type of are you representing? People who go AWOL or crimes that occur in the military? Is that all that this is?
Yeah, so it's a plethora of things. So basically, once you get in, you're going to be moved around a lot, and you're going to touch every aspect of law. So you're going to be dealing with environmental law. You're going to be dealing with constitutional law. You're going to be dealing with property and family law. I'm going to be representing military who have issues with divorces and child custody. I'm going to be dealing with people who have property damage issues or property tax or taxation issues. I'm going to be moving around a lot, not technically moving from everything, but I do believe I'm going to start off in the criminal realm and deal with AWOL a lot in Article 15. Okay,
so you would be defending them or prosecuting them?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly what I will be doing with that. It could go both ways. It's whatever the military decide they want to face me.
Is a military court way different than a civilian court?
I'm not currently there right now, but I hear that I have to go through another. Every 15 weeks there's a new course that I take in law school, and in military there's a 10-week program where we have to learn all new law strictly for the military. So I am almost 100% sure the laws are different for military personnel.
D. Adonis, Liberal Voice of America, you've had years and years of schooling. Have you ever had sex with a professor?
Oh my, are you serious? I will say this. I went to Jackson State University and I had a really good time.
Oh, you did then. That's how you got an A.
Listen, my face and my persona is very hard to bypass.
Yeah,
okay?
I know it. You are.
And so,
hey, I know, D. You are a walking sex machine. Everybody knows that already.
I'm a walking temptation. I am. I'm not going to lie to you.
All right, so that happened. So, is there a certain bit of criteria that D. Adonis looks for? Let's say D. Adonis is in the classroom. Is he getting a stare from a classmate or a professor? And is that when D knows that he can make a move?
I never make the move. I always let the other person give me some type of sign, some type of clear sign that this is what and who they want. And after that, I'm never the one to just go forward. Like, they always have to approach me in any shape, form, or fashion, because I'm the prize. I'm the quality that you should seek. It's not the other way around. That's just the way I am.
Absolutely.
So if you want me, you have to put forth the effort, and you have to put forth the effort to keep me. Because if you don't, you will lose me forever, and you do not want to lose quality.
Yeah, you are suggesting that D. Adonis, Liberal Voice of America, is a prize catch, and you better treat D. Adonis right, or you're going to have a problem.
Period.
Well, that sounds like a winning combination, D. I like that you have that type of, standard is high. You don't just go and sleep around with anybody, and they're going to have to work for it, right?
Exactly.
All right, D, I want to talk to you about something going on right now as the Liberal Voice of America. There's been a lot of stories about, like, in Portland, Oregon, and in some of our bigger cities in the United States, where what started out as a peaceful demonstration for Black Lives Matter has turned quite aggressive. What are your thoughts about Trump sending in federal agents to quiet this down, please?
First of all, Trump is a Looney Tune, okay? He's a cartoon straight out of Animaniacs. I mean, when I look at Trump and Pence, all I can think about is Pinky and the Brain, okay? Coming together to take over the world for some odd reason. He's a Looney Tune. He's a cartoon character.
Person you are.
I can't really take him serious. He's old and out of touch, and he's stuck
Just
in his
a
old
rude
ways.
person
I don't
you
think
are.
he's going to change, but I do not approve of him sending in military troops to bat our own people who pay you to protect them. So how are you going to send in troops to harm your citizens of your country when they are supposed to be defending us? They're supposed to be our protector, and they come into the streets to harm us and call it order. It's not order, it's chaos. And it's constant chaos because you're creating, as a professional, as a school teacher, I don't send in the person who was fighting, right?
Yeah.
One student who was fighting one student, and then I send in the parent, right, of the student who was fought and got beat up.
Right.
All in to jump on the one student who was fighting the other student.
Now, D,
you can't do that. That's constant chaos.
Now, D,
that's not resolution. And Trump loves conflict. He loves conflict. He doesn't like resolution. He hates the idea of resolution.
Well, now, D, another point of view and opinion I've heard on this is the alternative just let these people run roughshod over the community and do what they want, break windows, act like assholes? I mean, what should we do with that group of people? Shouldn't they be stopped from this chaos?
I will say this. Historically, there have been peaceful protests and there have been riots. Both brought upon change. The rioters should be punished as rioters should be punished, right? You don't punish them in mid-riot unless you can catch them all at the same time. Have video cameras, have camcorders, whatever, and go back and collect those individuals. But they brought about change. When you hurt the economy as far as finance, change happened. Peaceful protests, there was no reason why Trump should have sent in people to terrorize children, adults. Like, my heart went out to those people because I'm like, I teach students. That's
Right.
what I do. That's my job. And so when you send in gas, pepper spray, weapons and things of that nature to tear gas and bullet shoot innocent citizens, kids and all, just so you can take a photo shoot, that is wrong. And if America thinks that that's okay, something is seriously wrong with you mentally. If you think that that is okay to harm a child or an innocent handicapped person because the president has the power to harm his own people, then you are seriously sick in the head.
Hey, D, listen to this. Kenny writes, dude, you're losing people because of D. What he's saying can only be listened to for so long. What do you think about that?
People come and go.
Yeah. All right. Being a liberal, have you ever shot a gun?
Yeah, I'm ex-military. I've shot handguns. I've shot M16s, M4s.
All right.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, absolutely. Well, D, I appreciate the time as always. You are a real gem, and I appreciate the time and you joining us on the show. Okay, and if anybody has any questions, I want them to reach out. Send me an email for the next time that we talk. Okay, okay, D.
All right, I got you, E.
All right, buddy. I'll talk to you very soon.
All right, be safe.
Yeah, man. There you go, D. Adonis. Let's see. Tim writes, does D realize that when Trump gets reelected and D joins the Air Force, Trump is his boss? Have fun with that. I wish I would have kept him on for that question. All right. I hope D wasn't too much. Kenny was concerned. He wrote, hey, man, dude, you're losing people because of D. Small increments only. His voice and what he says can only be listened to for so long. People have commented that they can't listen to him anymore and have left the live feeds. Wah, wah, wah. Oh, shoot. Well, all right. I understand sometimes it gets tedious, but, you got to try new things. I liked it at first. I still like it now. I oftentimes feel bad when I see that. I'm like, oh, shit, maybe I'm missing the mark with D, but we'll see. If you liked or you didn't like, let me know. Eric at ericzaneshow.com. I do kind of go by your suggestions. I'm not going to be stupid about it. If he's not liked, then I won't go for it. But I like D a lot. I think he is funny, and I enjoy talking to him. So let me know what you think about D Adonis. Send it along, Eric at ericzaneshow.com. Okay, let's get into this thing about Rob Bliss. Ooh, Bliss is this guy is he is from the area, and he might still be here in West Michigan, but he's made a name for himself doing a lot of very viral moments and events. And I'd have to pick his brain for him to remind me of all the things he's done. But really out of the box thinking for this guy. He's made a couple of great viral videos that have gotten a lot of attention. And he has a history with my old Free Bear Not Wing show because there was a Joe stunt when we got tipped off to one of his videos that he was going to make in downtown Grand Rapids. I think he was doing something, one of those, I think it was like a dubstep video or not, something like that. It was it was one of those videos where they, it was like one camera shot and they go through the whole, I don't know, the whole city with the dancing. I forget what they used to call it, but he was having a press conference for it. And Joe was in the audience and he announced, stole the thunder of what it was going to be just before he did and robbed him of that. And it was really, really funny. And then Bliss got back at us because the radio show was doing an announcement about something, and Bliss had worked it out with JT, the program director, to burst into the studio and to make an announcement of what we were about to announce. So that was really, really funny. He also had he's had his series of missteps. The big one was the water slide down the hill in Grand Rapids, and it sucked. The hill wasn't steep enough. Cost a ton of money. He owed Grand Rapids a bunch of money. I don't know whatever happened to that. I think he paid them back. It took a while for him to pay him back. Then he did the world's biggest paper airplane toss for art prize. He was on top of one of the buildings, and he did this, but except it wasn't. It was basically just a bunch of paper airplanes in a box, and he threw them over the side. So basically, they just fell down to the ground. But this is huge. Okay? This is what he did. He went to a community known as Harrison, Arkansas. The video starts with him standing in front of a sign that says it's a billboard for a radio show, and it's like whitepower.com or whiteradio.com. It's actually a thing. And it's advertised in this community. So, it's not out of the question to be driving down the street and see that there. And you're like, what? Where am I? What is going on here? This is known as the home of the Klan. From what I'm understanding, the Klan, according to the Southern Poverty Law Center, has the current national director of the Knights of the KKK, Thomas Robb, has his headquarters there. And they've been there since the 1990s. So in the video, he starts by saying, I'm in the most racist town in America, and I have a Black Lives Matter sign. And then he just gets the reactions as he's standing on the side of the road of people as they drive by. And this is rough, man. This is really, really rough. And now everybody's jumped onto the story. I see an article on Newsweek about Rob doing this. And so these people don't know they're being recorded. And they're saying the most hateful, vile, racist things that anybody could possibly say to him as he's doing this. And, it is, it's not edited here. So this is going to be rough. And a lot of it is people as they pass. So you might not be able to make it out. But on the video, there's captions. So then you will be able to make it out. I give you Rob Bliss's latest video.
Harrison, Arkansas is the most racist town in the United States.
Have a little pride in your race, brother. White pride, worldwide.
Have a little pride in your race, brother. White pride, born to ride, or something like that.
Once after dark, man. Honestly, dude, you have balls of steel.
Okay, you know what? I'm just going to play the whole thing uninterrupted because if I talk over it, it'll ruin it.
Harrison, Arkansas is the most racist town in the United States.
Have a little pride in your race, brother. White pride, worldwide.
I want to say after dark, man. Honestly, dude, you have balls of steel because you could get hospitalized by some guys that want to beat your ass.
I've had several old men come by here, look out the window and tell me, says, you better go tell that nigger to get out of here and shit.
About 10 minutes, I'm going to be back. You better be fucking gone.
Okay, come back.
That guy came by more than once. 10 minutes, I'm going to be back. You better be fucking gone, he said. He's threatening him.
We matter too.
By the way, Rob is, I said I wasn't going to talk about it. Now I'm talking about it. Rob's a white dude.
About 10 minutes, I'm going to be back. You better be fucking gone.
Okay, come back.
We matter too. You're a white man. Crazy.
You're a dumbass motherfucker. You dumb shit.
Are you a Marxist?
Communist. Domestic terrorist.
Why don't you take to Chicago or New York and hold it up where they're shooting each other? Explain to me why I couldn't find that.
No, they don't. Do a real fucking job.
He said, explain to me why a COON's life matters. Oh my God, these are real people.
Trash out of town. That shit don't make shit here.
Hey, all lives matter, not just black.
You're a Caucasian.
You're white.
You look like a white guy holding a black lives matter sign. What's the deal with that? I'd be ashamed to be a white boy carrying that stupid sign.
You're white, aren't you? Oh, boy. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thank you. Saying something too?
Yes, sir.
I am good.
Because I'm tired of seeing This right here is the biggest hoax there ever was.
It's just the next thing to ISIS.
It is.
Yeah, black
The guy said it's the next thing to ISIS.
lives do matter, but what about ours, man?
Apparently, black people's lives matter more than us.
Apparently.
So the Irish have
Hey, Mike. How's your day going? Walmart, they put out this statement.
He shows a screenshot of a Walmart statement talking about how they're all inclusivity and stuff like that. And then the next clip is the Walmart manager saying, get off the property.
I'm going to ask you to leave. Exactly what I'm saying is exactly what they would ask me to do.
Walmart weighed in on this. They said, yeah, we asked him to leave because you're not allowed to stand in front of Walmart and do any type of petition or protest. That's so they tried to clarify that in a statement. All right, now in the end, there's no sound, but a person walks up to him and the face is blurred to the guy to protect his identity, and the person gives Bliss a piece of paper, and it's a note. It says, ignore the haters. This is a wonderful thing, or something like that. It's like a nice message, and that's how it ends. So, wow. All right. What do you think about that? I mean, that is some heavy duty stuff. The friend of mine who tipped me off about this said that she is working hard to get Bliss on the podcast. Let me see if she said she just messaged him. I messaged him this morning and shared your show. I'm sure he knows who you are. You mentioned you have a connection anyway. I'll let you know if I hear from him, and he may just come directly to you. Just wanted to tell you I reached out early. Thank you. I want to get this guy on. I want to talk to him more about this. But wow, I mean, there's no really going down that road to try to put a finer point on this. It can be no more fine than what you heard. And that's just an alarming, awful thing. Just people, there are so many shitty people in the world. And I don't know how you can, anybody who heard that can come back with a but about Bliss and the message. I think the only thing that could be strange is that the group Black Lives Matter has been a bit bastardized and destroyed by the actions of people who have turned that into a violent thing, and has made the group to be something more than what it was when it originally started. But if he had held up a sign that says, honk if you love black people, or I love black people, or something like that, I am confident he would have gotten the same response. So it doesn't matter. That place is horrible. Wow. Harrison, Arkansas. What a sick part of the country. Again, it starts behind, as he's in front of a billboard called whiteprideradio.com and altrighttv.com, both of which the advertisement says are, quote, for the family, a note that appears beside a cross. Man, what an awful thing. You can see it for yourself. I'll link it up in the comments of this podcast. And then I'll also put it in the news. Terrible, terrible, terrible. All right. Still got a couple more things we got to talk about in the podcast, including, well, Budweiser has gotten into the non-alcoholic beer race, which is something that is very near and dear to me. But I knew about this, and I'm a little disheartened by the fact that some bigwigs are getting behind it and trying to make it out to be something more than what it is not. Make more out of it than what they should. And I'll explain that coming up. And if China has sent you the seeds, this is a bad thing. All right. But Finally, the Kent County Health Department reminding you to cough into your elbow, wear a mask, and be socially distant from each other. Please, if you could do that, that would be great, because that's going to keep us all safe. My God. And if you need more information about where you can get tested for COVID-19, just go to accesskent.org/health. accesskent.org/health. They have a full staff there. If there's anything you need regarding sexually transmitted infections, perhaps vaccine for the kids, or maybe you need information about the WIC program, you can get it all at accesskent.org/health. Thank you to the health department for being on board with the show. Metalworks Body Shop. They repair RVs. You crack it up, they fix it. In full swing as the camping season is burning bright right now despite COVID-19. If you do happen to get in the weeds and crack that thing up, just remember, Metalworks Body Shop in Coopersville, Michigan is where you want to take it. Just drop it off there. They'll give you the estimate. They'll let you know what's up, and then you're going to get that thing fixed. They got the biggest, best spray booth in all of Michigan. They'll re-decal it. It'll look as good as new at Metalworks Body Shop. You need more information, click on their logo on my page. It'll take you right to their Facebook page, or just go to metalworksbodyshop.com. And thank you for being on board with the show. Last but not least, TC Paintball. Tonight is the night for Paintball War number 8, the COVID Uprising. I want to see you there. $35. You get the gun, you get the mask, you get the paint. We'll have a pizza party beforehand. It starts at 6 p.m., goes till 9. It'll set you back $35. A great deal of fun. Gather the kids, and I will see you there. All you got to do is go. You don't even need to send me an RSVP. You can, just to let me know. But we've got room, so just be at TC Paintball in Grand Rapids, Michigan at 6 p.m. tonight, and we can play. We're going to have a good group of people. We're going to feature the Battle Royale, and the plan is to be outside at TC Paintball. All right, should be a good time. The COVID Uprising happens today. And if you need more information about TC Paintball, just look them up online, tcpaintballgr.com. All right. As you know, I'm a connoisseur of non-alcoholic beer. Well, kind of. Busch NA has a little bit of alcohol in it. And I think there are some other ones that are 0. But it doesn't really matter. I drink the NA. And I actually like the Busch NA. When you drink shitty beer, it doesn't take much to make you like a beer. All right? If that's all you drink. Now, truth be told, I think the most flavorful ones are St. Pauli Girl and the Heineken. But my review of these is the St. Pauli Girl. I don't like the aftertaste. There's a strong aftertaste in the St. Pauli Girl. The Heineken is the most flavorful. If you just like beer taste, which is all you're drinking it for, people say, why do you even drink it? I'm like, well, sometimes a man just needs a drink of beer. That's all there is to it, especially if I'm up north. I'll drink 10 of those. I'll drink a 12-pack in a day, no problem. And I just like it. And I have no desire to drink an alcoholic beer in any way, shape, or form. People have said, that's a slippery slope, you're going to hurt yourself. It doesn't hurt me. I can handle it. It's alcohol. Being an alcoholic is way in the rearview mirror for me. It's been 24 years as of June. No desire at all to drink anything alcohol. So this works out great for me. So, all right, the Busch NA is cheap. That's why I like that. I'm a cheap West Michigan conservative bastard. So in a pinch, they had no Busch NA. My wife brings home Budweiser Zero. This is way back in March. I'm like, I haven't heard of this. She goes, yeah, it just showed up. Well, I didn't know this, but that was a soft open for Budweiser Zero. And they were testing it to see how it would be received. And I took one drink of it, and I'm like, well, it's being received poorly. I talked about it on this show. This stuff is shit. It is so devoid of flavor. There is no flavor at all in Budweiser Zero. Oh, my God. Now, I don't know what it is, man, but there's no sugar in it, no alcohol, 50 calories. What do you call it? Busch NA has a hell of a lot more flavor and like 5 more calories. not a big deal at all. This stuff is terrible. And then CNN Business posted an article on this piss. And hey, guess what? It's here. Budweiser's launching its first. I'm like, well, this has been out. No, that was the soft open I found out. Now they're making a big deal about it with a big marketing campaign. And it's just shitty. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. They say that Anheuser-Busch is using the recognizable Budweiser brand to launch Budweiser Zero, an alcohol-free lager that tastes similar. No, it doesn't. To the best-selling alcoholic beverage. It doesn't taste anything like any beer at all. It tastes like water that's carbonated. It is so terrible. Oh, they tout it as zero sugar, targeting health-conscious drinkers that crave the taste of beer and don't want to deal with a hangover. There is no flavor in this stuff. This is garbage. I wonder how much Budweiser had to pay CNN Business to do this damn story. They even got a popular person to sell it. Retired NBA player Dwayne Wade is getting behind it. Helping hand from entrepreneur Dwayne Wade. He helped create the product's taste and packaging. Bland? Is he that bland? Is that what he did? Was that his effort? He told CNN Business that he hoped, hey guys, let's make a non-alcoholic beer. Somebody call up Dwayne Wade. What? He hopes the drink not only attracts athletes and people who are focused on their health, but also beer fans who are looking to be responsible in social settings. No, don't do it. If you want to be responsible in a social setting, drink anything but Budweiser Zero. It's bad for your health. And this is what I mean. Because if you drink Budweiser Zero, you're liable to get your ass kicked because other people will have fallen for it and been duped. And they're not going to like the fact that you're drinking shit beer. It's really it's a weird thing to say that Busch NA is a better beer than anything, but it's absolutely true. And Busch NA is garbage, and it's better than Budweiser Zero. I've tried them both. You don't always want to walk away being hungover or with a buzz, Dwayne Wade said. I loved the idea of being part of the conversation without having to drink alcohol. The basketball player added that he's often the designated driver for his family and friends. And his family's big. I think he gets a new wife like every 3 months or something like that. Well, I'm telling you, I'm way ahead of the curve. These types of beverages, non-alcoholic beer sales jumped 35%. Strangely enough, when COVID-19 began surging throughout the country. Beer has been falling out of favor as drinkers are shifting towards higher-priced spirits and healthier alternatives like spiked seltzer. However, beer's affordability, brand familiarity, and product innovations, including low and non-alcoholic beer, has grabbed people's attention once again. They're describing as sober curious. Hey, are you sober curious? What is that? Come on. What? You can only use curious next to the word bi. Are you bi-curious? That works. That was the first thing, right? I mean, hey, man, I'm thinking about being sober curious. Currently, the top-selling non-alcoholic beer is Heineken Zero, 0.0. They launched that last year. We called that a success in the U.S. Yeah, that tastes well. O'Doul's, I didn't mention that. That is also the next top-selling brand on the list. That also has an aftertaste. Busch, third place, yes. And Beck's non-alcoholic is fourth. That's pretty good if Busch NA is beating Beck's. I'm telling you, Busch NA isn't that bad. And all three brands are owned by Anheuser-Busch and have a low amount of alcohol. But Bud Zero is the company's first beer to be truly 0.0 alcohol by volume. There is no point other than marketing to make it 0.0. because when it's the amount of alcohol in Bush NA, I've talked about this before and I've measured it out. It works out to just under 1/2 of a teaspoon. 1/2 under that per beer. Which means you would have to drink, a 12-pack to equal like 3 beers is what that works out to. And you'd have to do it fast because your body's metabolizing that little amount that you're pushing in. So it has no effect. I've never felt even remotely any buzz, even drinking those as fast as I do. All right. That actually is going to do it. I'm going to save the seeds coming to China story for the Patreon. You won't believe this. This is really a mystery as to what is happening with people opening up their mailbox. There's an envelope and there's a package of seeds. And you're like, what do I do with these? Well, the U.S. Department of Agriculture is telling you what not to do with those seeds. It could be, I'm telling you, China is trying to kill us. Okay? China and the Florida Marlins, the Miami Marlins, are trying to kill us. As always, reach out to the show, Eric at ericzaneshow.com, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about the podcast. And I'll be happy to engage you if you want to chat about anything at all. But that's going to do it. I'm out of time for the free Patreon podcast. Like it on Facebook, follow on Twitter, and follow me, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and hit the notifications bell. And please subscribe, rate, and review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to podcasts. I really appreciate the time you gave me. I'll see y'all at paintball tonight. Talk to you down the road. Bye-bye. See, Josh is weighing in with a question. Josh Brown, you still got spots open for tonight. I'll see you, all right? Come play some paintball with us.